Content repurposing helps B2B marketing campaigns succeed. Content repurposing played a big part in the projects I completed this week. Find out why my clients' strategic approaches, consistent branding, and systematic digital asset management made my job much easier and will also help their campaigns succeed. My projects this week all seem to have a common thread. Each of them involved taking content created in one format and recasting it for a different medium. In a couple of cases, I was taking blog posts and reimagining them as video clips. Then, toward the end of the week, I found myself taking video content from webinars and translating it into ebook copy. I realized I was simply caught up in a much wider trend. A survey by Referral Rock shows that 94% of marketers repurpose their content, and the remaining 6% plan to make repurposing part of their future marketing strategies. The Referral Rock study also found that 46% of marketers thought content repurposing was the best content marketing strategy. A similar study by SEMrush found that 42% of marketers found updating and repurposing content had made their campaigns more successful. As VIB CEO Sean Shea wrote in Forbes this week, B2B content marketers repurpose content as a simple way to do more with less. It's a way to save time, effort, and money, but it can also enable your brand to reach clients on their preferred platforms. To make this work, you need to take a strategic approach to your team's repurposing efforts. The marketer's golden rule, know your customer, applies here, just as it does to every other aspect of content marketing. Your team needs a clear grasp of potential clients' pain points, preferences, and favorite platforms. For most B2B brands, LinkedIn is the social media network of choice. Your brand's website is the usual place for blogs, and YouTube is the most effective site for thought leadership, tutorial, and product demonstration videos. Identifying the objectives for the content items your team creates is also a vital part of strategic content repurposing. Is your team focusing on brand awareness, education, lead generation, or some other more specific goal? When B2B content marketers create articles with clear, consistent formatting and branding, they find them much easier to repurpose. For example, the blog posts I repurposed for video followed a very consistent layout. The authors had inserted frequent captions into the copy to make it easier to scan. These captions lent themselves to becoming title overlays in the new videos. Similarly, the blog posts included quotes from thought leaders. The writers had conducted interviews using voice recorders, so I could quickly clip those audio comments into the video soundtracks, and those soundtracks could also work as podcasts. Because my clients all had fairly scrupulous digital asset management, they could track down appropriate images, illustrations, and logos to transfer the blog's visual identity into video format. The blog posts needed editing for length and to reflect the appropriate calls to action for the video platform. Even so, most of the core messaging made its way directly into the video scripts. By reading each blog aloud, I could quickly spot phrasing that needed to be more conversational. Repurposing content in the other direction called for different skills. The webinars I received consisted largely of audio recordings of presenters narrating slide decks. In these cases, the challenge was to take improvised content that was unduly conversational and arrange it into more structured written sentences for the ebooks. Once again, consistent formatting and branding made this task less daunting. The presentations had consistent, well-organized formats that could at least suggest the table of contents for each book. The bullet points often suggested chapters or captions. As I listened to each speaker, I jotted down the key talking points. I found I could then flesh those notes out into sentences and paragraphs without too much trouble. Another advantage I had in working with these clients was that the original content had already been optimized for search engines. There were clear keywords in the titles and throughout the body of each item. Recognizing and maintaining the same keyword strategies and organizing principles, I managed to retain relevant terms and phrases the client's potential customers tend to use. Keeping the keywording intact should help the new content items rank higher in the search engine results pages, or SERPs. The challenge now for my clients will be to promote and distribute this repurposed content. They tell me they intend to leverage some of the existing channels like email and social media pages to guide potential clients toward the repurposed content through well-placed hyperlinks. One of my clients is particularly astute at collaborating with peers and influencers to extend her content's reach. This approach also generates backlinks, which are another way to boost the content's search engine rankings. As this week winds down, I'm recognizing a few core principles for B2B marketers seeking to repurpose their existing content. Your team should approach content repurposing strategically by, as Stephen Covey famously put it, beginning with the end in mind. Along with its many other benefits, consistent formatting and branding makes your team's content easier to repurpose. This also applies to disciplined digital asset management. By working with your team to ingrain these principles into their daily work, you can join that 42% of B2B marketers who report that repurposing leads to more successful campaigns.